guys, it's Melissa, and I am back to share with you a collab with the YouTube Mommy Meetup group that is going on right now through the month of January. They are going to bring you 31 days of different budgeting tips. So mine is just a quick tip that I wanted to share with you, and you've probably seen it on my channel before. I actually got out of the habit of it midway last year, and I can really tell a difference. But it's basically keeping up with how much you spend on groceries. And I just wanted to share with you a little bit about how I do it. It's very simple, very easy. The first thing I do, which may go against what a lot of people do, at one point in time I was getting out cash for my groceries. But, it is a good way to keep up with it. But I would spend the cash and then I would go and debit as well. So if you can discipline yourself to just spend the cash, then you're better off. But for me, I felt that I had a better record if I just debited everything. So I'm just using my debit card now because that way I have a record of all my spending habits and I don't have to keep up with receipts. I can just look online at our bank statement and go from there. So the first thing that I do is we budget $125 per week for groceries. So I look at the month and I go by our paydays to figure it out. So if there are 5 paydays, I budget $125 per week for each payday. And at one time I was just doing like $500 a month. Well, when there's 5 paydays or 5 weeks in that month, we would always go over. So doing it per week really helps me out. Although we get paid bi-weekly, I just go ahead and put 2 months worth of grocery budget amounts in our checking account. I just keep up with it that way. And I always keep a running total. As soon as we go and buy something, I try to add it to my grocery notebook. So here is just a little grocery notebook, or little composition notebook actually, that I picked up at Target many years ago. You can definitely just use a plain one. This one just makes it cuter. But I keep up with the grocery budget inside here, and as you can see, this one was last year's, how I did it. And this year I'm doing it pretty much the same. I kind of fell off the wagon around May. So I know for us, when I stay and keep up with this, we tend to do better in our grocery budget, and we really need to get back to that. So basically what I do is whenever we spend something, I'll write it down, and I like to write what store it came from, and I'll write down the totals and that we spent at the store, and then this in green is the running total of how much we have spent so far. And I always have the budget amount up here so that at the end of the month I can evaluate and see how we did. But if making sure that I immediately go in and write it down as soon as it's spent keeps me accountable of our total and how much we can spend and how much not to spend. It's a very simple thing, but it is very powerful. So pretty much my tip is just to figure out your grocery budget, how much you want to spend, and keep up with it. Keep up with it whenever you go out to do your groceries. If that's once a week, if it's once a month. If ours is very sporadic, we try to go to Costco once a month, but then we hit the grocery store in between times whenever. There's no really set date or time that we do that. So that's it. That's my quick and simple budgeting tip for you, is to just write down and keep up with how much you spend. You can definitely do this in other categories as well. If you want to keep up with how much you're spending on coffees, or how much you're spending on maybe lunches at work, or anything that you would like to keep accountable to, because money tends to just go when you don't keep up with it. Of course, if you want to just keep cash, and then when your cash runs out, that's an easy way to do it too. But I'm a number person. I like adding, and I like keeping up and tracking things. So this works for me. The main thing is to keep up with it and stay accountable, because if I'm not, then I definitely will go over. Be sure to check out the playlist with all the other YouTube Mommy Meetup members and their budgeting tips as well. Take care, guys. Bye.